Hello and welcome to Eco Girl in a Modern World. My name is Shelley and my channel is dedicated to topics that talk about how to be more eco-friendly in a modern environment. So, what concessions can we make? How can we do things better where we can have the least impact on our planet and make things better even though we have modern conveniences and modern ways of living. Welcome back. I wanted to go ahead and put out more content. So again, I'm trying to make the videos shorter and more frequent. So this is exciting. We have not waited 6 months between videos. Yay. Good job. Yes. Um, just real quick, I had a little bit of a Mercury retrograde thing going on where my very expensive Bose speakers, because I do have some high-tech equipment on my computer, they were not working. And I thought there was something wrong with them. I thought that I actually had to unplug them and take them to the shop to see, because I was hearing a buzzing sound. They weren't working. I even pulled out my old speakers because I'm filming videos and I can't hear the playback. The playback had no sound, and I was like, oh my God, my expensive speakers are broken. I just 5 minutes ago realized that I looked at the back of the speaker and the plug had pulled out and pulled out. So this is just how, but so I know that this is working, video is working, yay. All right, step one. So that aside, tech issues aside, Mercury retrograde's almost over. I wanted to go ahead and do a follow-up video to the last video. So again, we're making the video shorter and more in a concession, because we actually have a really good topic. Last video, I talked about fiber content, like how can you tell what something is made of? We actually had to do a burn test. But last time it was a shacket. It was a shirt jacket that was plaid, and it was, and I wanted to share with you, I got a chance to wear it. I debuted the shacket and it was so warm, guys. It was a 40-degree day and I really didn't need to wear an overcoat over it. And I saw I got a lot of positive feedback about it too. One person said they stopped me and said, wow, that's such a cool outfit. And that was really vindicating. And then I also saw other people wearing plaid jackets. Shackets. So it is definitely in vogue. It's definitely still stylish as we transition into the spring season. It was very warm on its own, and all of the warm colors. Oh gosh, I love the browns and the creams. It just went really well. But one thing that we talked about in the last video is the way that I came across the shacket is that I was shopping, and at the time I was shopping, I had purchased a organic cotton bra major department store. So I wanted to kind of talk about that because that bra, it's just been kind of in the back of my head. That bra was purchased, the way that bra was probably made is a point that we want to talk about, and we'll talk about in today's video, which is the difference between the way that something is mass produced or the way, so the bra is organic cotton, but it was likely the labor used to create it was probably like a mass produced labor. So I paid less for it. And, in the last video, I was really I noticed that I kind of glossed over it. Yeah, I paid $27. It was such a great deal. But that's kind of the hypocrisy of consumerism that we run into with environmental issues, is that you didn't pay a whole lot for it, but where does that discount stem from? And the discount probably stems from the labor not being paid a fair wage. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that. First off, I want to apologize. I do put on makeup for these videos, but you're not getting mascara today. I'm sorry. I threw on everything else except mascara, so apologies in advance. I went to high school in the 90s. Drew Barrymore has this great video that talks about 90s makeup, and literally we are the generation that will use lipstick and then dab it on our cheeks and then, and just call it a day. Like no mascara, no, we're very minimalists in the way that we do things. So apologize in advance, but to jump right in. So this is a story about labor in both fashion and fast fashion, especially, but mostly in all clothing brands. The real cost of labor on both the labor force, the environment. So this is a tale of two bras. Let's get into it. So long time ago, probably, well, not that long ago, about a year and a half ago, I went ahead and I purchased a Organic Basics. And let me just preface this by saying that this is not a sponsored video. So none of the companies that I am mentioning today have sponsored me or given me any free merchandise to discuss this. This is just my real world experience. I paid good hard-earned money for all of the products listed here. But about a year and a half ago, and again, in my journey it was really more in my journey to get away from synthetic fabrics, I was looking for a good bra that was no synthetic fibers. And believe me, that is really, really difficult to do. To this day, I have not found 100% silk or 100% cotton. There's always some blend of spandex or nylon or something. And when you go to the big fashion brands, when you think about lingerie, like if you go to Victoria's Secret or if you go, it is all synthetic. And the problem with synthetic, and you can reference my my fabrics video, my materials video, is that a lot of it is polyester, it's nylon. The stuff doesn't breathe. It keeps it, when something doesn't breathe, it not exposes your skin to chemicals, because the way that material is made, it's chemicals bonding. So if you're holding it against your skin is a barrier. Your skin is a biome. Just like all the cells inside of your body have little membranes, your skin is the biggest membrane of your body. It's what helps keep nasties out. That's why when you get a cut, you get a Band-Aid, right? You seal where things can get in. But that doesn't mean that chemicals and other things can't soak through your skin. That's why you have reactions. That's why you break out in a rash. That's why when it traps moisture against your skin, it breeds bacteria and you get little nasties like, like Tenna versicolor, or, heat rash, or another really big one that you see a lot, and not to be TMI, but is Candida, which is yeast. It's just the natural. It's or if you like carbs, your body will sweat out, and then if your clothes is synthetic, it traps the moisture, and that type of fungus or that type of overgrowth becomes an issue. So long story short, when you go out into the world, you pop that tag, you look at the tag to see what your materials of your bra is made of. 99% of the time, you're going to see it's all polyester, nylon, lycra, anything but cotton, silk, hemp, linen. None of them, you'll very rarely find 100%. Now, I've given up the hope of finding 100%, but what I did do is I researched a few of the companies, and there are some good companies out there like Organic Basics and Pact, P-A-C-T, that has organic fabrics, offers that. Now, the other thing that they offer is that so many companies out there do not transparent in their manufacturing processes, nor are they transparent on who it is that is making your clothes, like the factory conditions of how their clothes are made. And I'm going to post a video down below. Again, another fashionista that I really adhere to. She's got a fabulous channel. She's actually someone who makes clothes. A beautiful French lady named Justine Leconte. And Justine, actually, she is a big advocate for fair labor practices, because in 2013, in Bangladesh, there was a factory of underpaid workers. So the people who sew your clothes. And a lot of times they have to sew, like you in the fast fashion video, the crazy long one that I posted here, and all the other videos that I've links that I've posted, they're expected to sew these clothes in less than a second. Shein, H&M, this is really slave labor. These people are paid nothing, not a living wage. Most people, it's in southern countries of the world that think that they have no other option than to live off of $3 a day and sewing, like 10 hours a day, and just mass producing things because of our culture, because of the northern culture of fast fashion and 52 micro seasons. And I saw that on Instagram, and I have to have it, but then I'll wear it once and throw it away because I'm an influencer and I've already been seen in it once. That is toxic, you know, the materials that it's made of, but the labor that goes into that. And this video, and I think it's around, I'll try to put the timestamp, but one of the big, and it is kind of dragging the fast fashion, you know, companies, but it's dragging the bigger companies as well. Everything that you put on your body when you shop at Target, when you shop at Walmart, and actually Walmart is one of the biggest, when they, what had happened was, I'm sorry to jump around, in the Kant video, in 2013, there was a sewing factory in Bangladesh that the building was so out of code, so decrepit, that it collapsed. And it killed, I think, hundreds of people. I don't remember the count. It's tragic if even one life was taken. But these people were paid that subpar living wage, and they were sewing fast fashion, and the building came down on them. And it made the news, but it was just like this little drop in the bucket. And it's like, why isn't this a bigger, just like we care about the content of our clothes not poisoning our planet, why are we not caring about the wage that these people, they were in horrible conditions and they died making fast fashion, making a cheap ass bathing suit. And in the video, she talks about that. The reason that she's such an advocate is not only because it's really poor, it's selling to people for the wrong pretenses, is because people don't make a living wage. So in my last video, so what happened was a year and a half ago, I bought a bra from Organic Basics, and it's a beautiful bra. But the beautiful thing, the one thing that it is, that bra was about $55. And it was flown from, I think, France. So the carbon footprint is not the greatest either, because it came quick too. So it probably used some gas flying over the pond, you know, flying over the Atlantic Ocean to get to me. But it is 95% organic cotton, 5% spandex. The beautiful thing about Organic Basics is that it is a certified company. They issue reports about their impact on climate. I believe they're LEED certified, so they circles to make sure that they're not.
Hello? I think they're not 100 transparent because they might outsource some of their sewing to other places and they might not be saying where those places are. So if they are, you know, 70% of the time using, you know, because that's the nature of marketing. Let me post up this beautiful factory. We pay our workers well, they're in healthy conditions, but then 30% of the time, some of those, you know, when the orders really start rolling in that they outsource, they could be going to those sweatshops too. But there's a video of a lady who actually really did the research, and I really appreciate this. There's such a wealth of knowledgeable people. I'm such a YouTube girl, but she did a wonderful video, and they weren't, you know, they weren't shady about it. I don't think they're a bad company, but there was a few shades of gray that they weren't 100% about. So it's possible that Organic Basics might be outsourcing a little bit, and they would want to report, you know, okay, are their workers making a living wage? One other reason that I really liked Organic Basics is because we've talked before about how I'm a big advocate of cotton, especially organic cotton, but cotton, even when it's regular cotton, it uses a lot of pesticides. When it's organic cotton, it doesn't use pesticides, but cotton is a very thirsty plant. It takes a lot of water, and that's also a limited resource. And I mentioned in our materials video is that cotton is not self-sustaining the way that hemp is. If you plant cotton, it really drains the soil of a lot of nutrients. And then those soil becomes a little bit barren. It becomes like you've seen in the 1920s, we talk about the Dust Bowl. That's what happened. We kept planting the same crop over and over and over again, and we never, farmers know that there's kind of a circle of life where if you plant one crop that depletes certain nutrients like nitrogen or other things, you have to plant a different crop that
replaces that. But the disadvantage is if you have such a high value product like cotton, because it's used to make clothing that we just, that the Americans buy up and discard, that it's you want to have it on a cycle that's really, that you can really kick it out. And that's the problem. That's the disadvantage with linen, is that linen has drying cycles that make, it's more expensive because it can't just be cranked out like that. Cotton can be, but it also depletes the soil. So if the soil gets too dry, then it becomes a dust bowl type of thing where you can't grow the same cotton over and over again. Now, there's a great video by Organic Basics, and good job, that talks about that they're creating systems to try to get around that doesn't deplete the soil, that becomes something sustainable where we can really mass produce organic cotton without wasting water, without using chemicals, and without poisoning the ground. So they are a good company. The other advantage of Organic Basics is that they have, they also, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. They also, oh, there's an app, there's a website called Good On You, and Good On You actually grades the level of quality, again, with all of those factors, carbon footprint, emissions, water use, workers a fair wage. And with Good On You, they got a great rating. And that's really hard to do, because Good On You is a tough one. You can't really get that. So seeing that, to have a $55 price tag, and it was cute. It's a little white triangle bra. It's not 100% organic cotton. The straps are wider, and the strap underneath the kitties it's spandex, but it's covered in organic cotton. So gonna have a little stretch there. But I paid like about $55 for it 2 years ago, and it is my favorite bra. It's my favorite bra. I'm actually wearing it right now. I'm not, of course, can't show you, but it's underneath my white t-shirts. It gives me the right amount of support. It's very comfortable. And I always, that I think with women, the best test is if you forget that you're wearing it, like you don't feel like it's there. That's just the biggest, compliment that you can have. So now I definitely, and again, all that factors, I wanted cotton, because the other thing is that I don't like synthetic fibers. I have
bras that are made of synthetic fibers that I do have to wear, but I do feel sweaty. I do get dots on my skin. I feel like, okay, it's like wearing a plastic bag, and they work well, but I can't, I want to almost alternate them so my skin has a chance to recoup and breathe. But I really debated. I've honestly had getting the same bra that I have in black from Organic Basics. But I wanted to, and again, in my journey, I wanted to see if there was an alternative out there. So this goes back to where the beginning of last video started, which is it was Christmas time, JCPenney, and I saw a bra that was a black triangle bra. It looked exactly like my Organic Basics white one, except it was like $27. I popped the tag, and surprisingly, it was also 95% organic cotton and 5% spandex. So the same exact content of my high quality, Organic Basics bra, but much cheaper. So half of my reasoning of giving a department store a chance is because we don't, yes, these up and coming organic companies are making a difference. Organic Basics is making a difference. Pact is making a difference. But we want to be the change that we wish to see. So if you put your buying dollar towards that garment, maybe the department stores will get on board. The other thing that I've noticed about JCPenney is that JCPenney, there's kind of like a gradient of department store quality levels. JCPenney is a more or less expensive one. Then you get into like a Bloomingdale's or Macy's. Then you get into more of a high range, like, Saks Fifth Avenue or Neiman Marcus or Nordstrom. That, there's kind of this goes back to the 50s and 60s when all of us lived in all of us living in the suburbs, and you would go to, your kind of your niche, level of quality or high class, products.
Now, I'm going to post a video down below. Another great channel here on YouTube is Bright Sun Films. And oh, the narrator's so great. I always, you know how people have voice talents. There's the narrator, the producer, and the one man, two man band over there is named Jake. And he's like, "What's up, guys? It's Jake." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I love this channel." But he does have great series he has a great series called Bankrupt. And it's not to be morbid, but when you think about the rise and fall of companies, those are their economic structures. It's how they planned, and as the economy changes, as we go through paradigm shifts like an advent of social media or pandemics, or the move from the change of technologies, you can kind of learn from their journey what they did right, what they did wrong, and how it landed them where they landed. And JCPenney, he actually, Bright Sun Films did a Bankrupt episode about JCPenney recently. And I thought it was very interesting because JCPenney started in the 1890s in the Midwest. Like it was the niche of it, or was bringing the department store to rural areas. Like if you didn't live in New York and didn't have a department store, JCPenney would move into your town, and it gave you quality products at at the same bulk discount that these department stores offered. The other thing that I really liked about it, and the reason that I chose that department store in particular, is if you watch the Bright Sun video, I think it's about 2 or 3 minutes in, I'll try to post the timestamp. It talked about how JCPenney, one of its business models, which is actually quite practical, is that instead of buying their clothes outsourced, buying it from overseas or from other brands, which could be producing things in, with unsafe labor practices, or charging you an arm and a leg the moment a pandemic happens in order to ship it to you. They decided, JCPenney from the beginning made their own brands. They created things in-house. And when you create things that are your own brands, you can, one, ensure what materials are used. You can use organic cottons or use organic fabrics. And you can also make sure that they're made in your country. So you don't have to ship it around the world, which decreases your carbon footprint and also makes it, provides jobs for your economy. So that's what I liked about it being that bra being at JCPenney. Now, real quick, just the comparison is that I think that the black bra from JCPenney was $27. It was the same fiber content. It was 95% organic cotton, which is good, not regular cotton, organic, no chemicals, and 5% spandex. Now, the one thing is that the JCPenney bra was smaller. It was not like it didn't use as much material, which might cut down on the cost. The bands of it, like the bands of the organic basic ones, were straight spandex or stretch. The JCPenney one looked like it was probably material that was folded over and sewn, which isn't bad, but it was a little bit small. The other thing is I got to bear in mind, I think I might have found it in the juniors department. So, a medium juniors versus, a medium woman's might be different. But I did find that the size of it was different. Now, when I wear it, it is comfortable, but there are moments, the JCPenney bra, there are moments that I do notice it, like I feel it, like it's just a little too tight. While my organic basics, I forget that it's even on. And the extra material in the triangle for the organic basics really pushes the kitties together. It makes me look nice and, like for not having as much padding, it does its job very well. Like you don't see that, you don't see it through, like the shirt I'm wearing is pretty, just a regular t-shirt. So it acts as a t-shirt bra. The JCPenney one, you can see lines. And again, it is just a little bit tight. Now, the big deal of this video is that the Organic Basics bra, it was created in France. The tag says created in France, but it was sewn in Turkey. And then, so I think this did follow their normal positive labor practices. Again, it was a more expensive bra. And Turkey is a place, but I don't, it's funny, the two places that kind of you hear more about sweatshops are Sri Lanka. Um, Bangladesh is a big one. You do hear about it a lot in India too. But the only thing is with India, India has really beautiful natural fabrics. Like when I find muslin or when I find linen or when I see cotton sewn in India, it can be a sweatshop. It's like a 50-50 chance. It could be a sweatshop or it could be someplace that, because there's a lot of exploited workers in India too. But Ghana or any of there's quite a few, there's a list. But long story short, the JCPenney bra was probably made, it said made in Bangladesh. And that was the exact same city that had that collapse of the building. So it did not make me proud to be like, oh, okay, I can't afford the $55 bra from Organic Basics, but I went with the $27, but it was really more of an experiment as well. I wanted to see the comfort of it. But to be 100% honest, that difference of $20 is probably me taking that $20 away from the labor force that created that garment. And I tried to look up on Good On You, the maker brand. I think the JCPenney brand, I'm almost positive, I think it was called Arizona. I think that is an in-house JCPenney. I think it's one that they create themselves, but it didn't say made in the USA. It said made in Bangladesh. So you can definitely see if it was outsourced that they probably cut costs with labor. So I just wanted to clarify that a little bit. I'm not proud when I say, oh, I got this wonderful deal, because when you get a deal, that's usually undercutting the labor force. If it's 100% organic fabric, they probably paid top dollar for the material, but the person who sewed it probably didn't get paid. And that doesn't please me. That doesn't make me happy. But I also need to put my buying dollar towards, the department stores making the change, making in the US where it's regulated, because a lot of this is not regulated. I do think Organic Basics is regulated. And again, this is not a sponsorship. If they want to send me free merchandise, I won't show it off. I'm middle-aged. I'm not a model. So, but if they want to send me a black bra, I will compare the two and give my honest opinion. But I'm assuming it would be, I'm sure it would be the same high quality as the other bra that I have that I'm wearing right now from that maker. But it is a very scary world when and I've posted videos here before that people don't make a living wage. They really struggle to survive, and all it does is overproduce garments anyway. So I really don't try to buy something unless I absolutely need it. And even then, I try to put my buying dollars. So moving forward, I did just want to qualify, describe, the organic cotton side goes a long way for biodegradability, but if you're not, putting the right money in, and I know it's hard right now because we are looking at kind of recession times where people really need to budget very closely. You need your money for food and not clothing, but you also want to put your buying dollar towards where it's actually, going to be used sustainably. And I'll post one more video. There's a lot of videos. You do have to kind of gird yourself to to watch it, because it's very sad content. But you do want to bear that in mind. And of course, me buying that $27 bra, again, my goal is to get these department stores on board. Use fibers that biodegrade. If you have to ship in merchandise, pay someone a living wage. Let's get on board with that. You will earn my buying dollar with that. And it's true to these companies' core values too, because that's what they started with, right? In the 1890s, they started with quality fibers that were created in-house by their own brands, and they got a reputation for having quality, brands. And if you make it in-house, then it does get cost because you control every aspect of that. The other thing is you don't have to pay an arm and a leg. I know when the pandemic hit, it was like it used to be so cheap to ship things from other countries, and now it's not, because the shipping of it and the storage of it out on ships is becoming an issue. So why not make it in-house in our own country? But So, all right, guys. So I'm glad we kept this under 30 minutes. That's my goal, is to make these shorter. But I just wanted to talk about that because I wasn't just, being like, oh, because it does get very hypocritical. It gets hypocritical. I want to walk the talk, but to make these changes on a mass scale, it's not like all of us can just go, every day. That again, modern world. I can't just every day. If I could buy all of my undergarments from these high quality places, I would. But I'm a modern person and I'm on a budget, so we really, and to be the change, we need our local stores to really get on board. But just to show, again, I am wearing an outfit. Anytime you see me, I'm wearing an outfit. My sweater is by Esprit, and it is 100% organic cotton. The long sleeve shirt underneath of it is by Land's End, and it is 100% cotton. The pants I am wearing are from Free People. They are wide leg Gia, curvy. They're high waisted, very flattering, and they are 100% cotton. So I think the only thing that I'm not wearing right now that is not 100% cotton is my socks, and oh yes, and the bra, of course, the bra. So, but I thank you guys so much for joining me. I am going to be getting out these videos more often. We got a lot of fun topics coming, so please stay tuned. And I'm hoping to actually get out of my house and do some some field trips in the weeks leading up to Earth Day, because I do want to get back into this. Let's talk about change. So I've got some exciting stuff coming. So I hope you can join me then. If you have any questions, if you have any feedback, what did you think of this video? What do you think of how we handle materials and labor practices with other countries? And what do you think we could do differently? But thank you so much for joining me. I hope to catch you in the next video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.